Finally connected. This is psychic medium Angela Cullen here with a daily message for May 3rd. It does look like the lesson is ending and there is that wrapping up energy. You may find yourself a little bit uneasy as the anxiety is kind of coming up and down. I also feel there's some insomnia, some broken sleep that's coming in. If you have young children, they're widely sensitive, they're widely intuitive. So you may find them really emotional this week. You may find them very up and down, especially midweek. You may find their sleeping schedules just kind of like, what is happening? I see a lot of tears, a lot of irritations, but this is definitely a positive. There is this sense of wrapping up. The card that I pulled literally says that. It says the end of challenging times. Things are looking up. All right, a welcomed relief. So there definitely is momentum. Now, that relief is a little bit delayed. So you may not be feeling that this week, but I would say by the beginning of next week, you're going to be more in that relief and more of that energy that's anxious or unsettled is going to fall away. Okay. It is really important for you to focus on self compassion, focus on understanding, focus on peace, right? So we are going to accept that this is just where we're at, and there's this cycle happening, and that there is so much that happens that we do not see, that we don't even understand what the planets are doing, what the moon is doing, what the mass consciousness is doing, let alone what's happening in our own little worlds and that are under our roof, right? So just kind of have this understanding, be compassionate. There's also talk about like moving, and there's also talk about traveling. So there's a lot of changes coming in, office changes, home changes, renovations, buying or selling, as well as movement. So maybe even moving towns, this type of thing. And what's interesting is that it felt like it wasn't happening, or it was something that was in the back of our mind, but all of a sudden, here we go. Action time is coming in. This is definitely something that is positive, but do not take on too much. There's this sense of like, okay, we have the time and we have the capability, but you want it all done like yesterday, and that's going to completely stress yourself out. So, again, understanding that everything is happening in perfect divine timing and everything's going to be handled in the ways that they need to be compassionate, don't overload yourself. Really important to kind of keep things even keel because emotionally and mentally, we're a little bit unstable and we're not getting the sleep, and there's emotions everywhere you look, right? So all of this really kind of plays into this experience. So wanting to be cautious, wanting to be a little bit reserved with how much I can do, when I can do it, try to keep that calendar flexible. I always say it's so much easier to add on to the calendar than it is to take off. So go bare minimums. And if you're having a good day and everything feels good, then we can add on and we can take on a little bit more. But I think that you need to be a little bit proactive because you're going to need that downtime energetically. All right, I'm going to leave that with you, and I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's daily message.